Hi everyone, this is Maggie. Welcome back to my channel, Journaling with Maggie. I'm so glad that you're here. I hope you will like and subscribe. I really do have a desire to grow this channel, to reach other people, encourage them, maybe help them to learn something new. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or somebody that's been doing this for a very long time. There's always something new to learn. And don't get me wrong, I'm not really the one to introduce new ideas on my own, but I am. I do enjoy other creators, and when they come up with a new idea, something that looks good and is appealing to me, I like to make it. I redo it how it works for me, and you can do the same thing. So let's just get started here. I have collaged with fabrics before. I don't know that I've ever collaged a whole page, and like I said, I didn't think that a 12 by 12 would fit into my printer. Oh my goodness, into my sewing machine. I just have a small crafting sewing machine. I do have a larger, regular size, beautiful sewing machine that I did use when I first started doing these junk journals, and I used it quite a bit. However, I work in a very small space, and there was really no place to store it where it wasn't in the way. And it's also heavy, so I didn't like to be picking it up and putting it back constantly because I didn't want to take a chance on dropping it or anything. So I got this smaller one. I haven't really worked with it yet, but I'm sure once I do, it'll be just fine. So I've got some pieces of cloth here. I did all lighter colors, more thinking towards spring and summer, I guess. And if this is not enough, then I keep a little basket of scraps here in the corner of my desk, and I also have a bag of scraps, a small, just like a Ziploc bag full of some scraps that I can also go for. Plus, I have other scraps. I have quite a bit of fabric, actually, because I was a quilt maker before. And in one of my videos, I started to make a comment about this saving these strings, and that come off of the cloth, and I don't think I ever actually finished my thought about that. When I first started junk journaling and was sewing around things, some creator that I listened to, and I don't remember who it was at the time, but she was saying how to save your and she had a ton of strings from fabric. Save them because you can use them for decoration in your junk journal. Well, I don't remember her saying how you could use it in a junk journal, but nonetheless, I didn't save them because I was creating a huge amount of strings at the time. I just didn't save them. Then recently I saw another creator use them in a junk journal, and she saves hers and she used them, and I believe she made them into a little bow configuration or something. I could be wrong about that, but it was some sort of a configuration of these strings that she put in her journal. Now, I have a theory about these strings, and you're going to think I'm crazy, of course, but I have put these strings in here, and I just put them in. I don't shove them down. I don't do anything to them. I really haven't been collecting them for that long, but they do add up. And as they sit in here over time, they seem to be just congregating, drawn to each other, like they're trying to go back into the form that they know they're supposed to be, and that's a piece of cloth. Because, like I said, when I open them up and put strings in here, I don't tamp them down. I just put them in there. Right now I am tamping down on a little bit. But if you could see it clearly on the camera, and I don't know if you can, the strings have kind of intertwined with each other, and I swear, if I had a slow motion camera and enough of them, I bet at some point they would just all kind of combine back together in one form or another. I know that's crazy, but anyway, I haven't really found a use for them yet, but I have been saving them for the most part because I just think it's interesting. Okay, so let's get started on this. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you start really, and I just pick a spot and go for it. Okay, so we're gonna put this little piece right down here. And I am going to use glue stick, like I said. Hopefully this is a Scotch glue stick, mega size, purple. I don't think this is the one I actually wanted though. I think the one I wanted said extra strength or adheres to any surface. I'm not sure. So hopefully this will work. If not, well, we'll pick them up and add some regular glue to them. And this glue does dry clear. You can't see me totally out of frame. This glue does dry clear, so no worries about it leaving purple marks on the fabric or on the collage board. So, okay, there's one down. Now, and I chose lighter colors for this, kind of thinking of spring. But in summer, I like lighter colors anyway. I do enjoy a lot of color. I've never dressed in just darker colors. I mean, I wear dark pants and whatnot, but I've always enjoyed the lighter colored fabrics. I just think they're pretty. My mother was a seamstress, a beautiful seamstress. She made all of our clothes when we were children, the three of us, myself, my sister, my younger brother. Of course, it's a little bit different for a boy, but once he got out of his baby and toddler years, I don't think she sewed too much for him anymore, but she certainly did for us girls, my sister and I. And her work was absolutely gorgeous. And she was very, very talented. She had a Singer sewing machine. It was not an electric sewing machine. It was a treadle, you know, that you push the treadle back and forth to make it sew. And that's what I learned to sew on, quite actually. And I've always wanted one of those for myself. I don't know what happened to hers. I don't know. I don't know what happened to it. I don't remember her ever saying. But she would go shopping or window shopping, literally, and she would see clothes, dresses for my sister and I, or for herself. It didn't matter. And she could kind of imprint that on her mind, the style and everything, and she would come home and make her pattern and make the article of clothing. And they were beautiful, beautiful pieces for us girls. She made, when we were babies, she made little bonnets and little purses to go with it. They were just precious. I wish I had some of those pieces now, but of course I don't. So my daughter and son-in-law finally were able to take the baby to see the elephants today. And I found out that they're not real elephants. They're carved wooden elephants. And I I don't know why I thought they were live. Because I thought, how can they travel around the world with all these live elephants? But they're not. They're pieces of art. And I do believe the project is meant to inspire people to realize that elephants are endangered and to help raise awareness and raise support. I'm thinking that's what it is. I really haven't read about it or anything, so I'm not speaking as any authority. But that is going on in downtown Houston today, down by the medical center. I guess it's there for the whole month of April, which is kind of fun. Now I have found in the little bit of experience I've had doing this, because I haven't used the glue stick for fabric the whole time I've been junk journaling. I really just started using it lately. But so far I've found it works really well. So I'm happy about that. But we'll see how it does in this. I will let this dry really well before I attempt to sew on it. And then after I'm not going to do it on camera, but after I do sew on it, I'll bring it back and show you. Possibly the next Masterboard Monday, I'll do that. So my mother taught me to sew when I was fairly young. I enjoyed working with fabric. I remember, well, I wasn't a noisy girl anyway. I was pretty quiet. But when we'd go to church, I would take my little dolls and a baby doll of some sort, a small baby doll. And I would have some scraps of fabric and a pair of scissors, so I could sit quietly and listen to what was going on in church, right? And then make clothing for this little baby doll. But later she actually did teach me to sew, and I learned to, one year I made my own Easter outfit, and after I was married I was making clothing for myself and then for my baby girls. And I enjoyed it. I really, truly enjoyed it. Now after I got married and I decided I wanted to sew, my dear husband bought me one of the latest model singers that came out that year. And I really loved that machine. It was a wonderful machine. You know, in general, Singer has a very good reputation. And this particular machine was no different. And I had it for quite a long time. And again, I don't know what happened to that machine. I think we had a flood in our basement in one of the houses we lived in Michigan. It flooded pretty bad, actually. And I could have lost it then. But to be perfectly honest, I don't know that for sure. I just can't remember what happened to it. I don't think I gave it to anybody or sold it. Something happened to it. All right. So another type of comment you could leave is to tell me what you're working on. What do you enjoy working on? I think that's interesting to know what people are doing, what people are interested in. So I don't know how this is going to turn out because I have no plan. I think I am going to have to dig out some more pieces of fabric. But that's okay, we can do that. Not a problem. So when I do sew over this, around this, I'll probably sew kind of wonky. We'll see. Again, no particular plan. When you start doing something like this, collaging, you know, you do kind of just get into your head. I mean, you just it invites you just to relax and to not think about anything other than just what you're doing with this. And that's one of the reasons I enjoy it so much. It's very relaxing. And if I'm too quiet, I apologize, but that's why I'm quiet. Oh, I know, one other thing I want to tell you that I'm not sure how to correct it, but for whatever reason, my videos are recording kind of crooked. Now this mat is not crooked, but on here it looks all wonky. I've tried adjusting the camera. I'm just not getting the camera in the right position, I think. And if anybody out there has any suggestions on how I could possibly remedy that, believe me, I am open to them. I'm not above taking advice from somebody that knows more about something than I do. Believe me. I am not above that at all. So please share with me. Share with me how I can make my channel more appealing to you and to other listeners. Share your advice. And I really don't mind at all. Just be kind. That's all that I ask. Just be kind. Now, once this is all sewn around, it will be fairly easy to cut up. And I probably would make pockets with these, maybe journaling cards or very large tags. I don't think I'd want to cut this into smaller tags. But pockets or maybe a journaling card might work best, I think. So I'm not much of a TV watcher. My husband was a TV watcher, especially after he became sick and couldn't get around as much, but he had that TV on as loud as it could go from morning sun up till sundown. And he usually he went through phases. For a while he was just watching the news all day long. And he really liked to watch Western movies, so then he watched Western movies all day long. And the TV was turned up so high. And I don't think he had a hearing problem. My daughter went with him to his hearing screening, and they told him he had no problem hearing, he just liked it loud. And but that really wasn't me. I never really enjoyed. There were some programs I remember enjoying when I was growing up, or when I was younger. One of them was I Love Lucy. I still am a big fan of I Love Lucy. I've probably watched that show over several times and find it absolutely hilarious. She was a very talented lady. But these days, I really don't watch a lot of television. I do watch reruns of some programs that I really enjoy. One, of course, is I Love Lucy, and there's others as well. But I just recently, after Christmas, at Christmas time, I made up my mind I was going to watch some Christmas movies that I had never watched. I mean, we used to put, when the girls were little, we would put Christmas movies on for them. Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph, and one of my daughter's favorite ones is A Christmas Story. She really loved that. Stitch, no. She really enjoyed that movie, and it became a lifelong favorite of hers. So I made up my mind that every evening, I don't turn the TV on during the day. The only time I watch TV during the day is when I'm sick. You have to excuse me, my cat Stitch it's almost time for them to eat, so they're starting to bug me. But now I lost my train of thought. Oh, I tried to watch a Christmas movie that I had never watched before, or it'd been years since I watched it. And I did that for, probably about 2 weeks or a week and a half before Christmas till just after Christmas. And then I started, then I was back to my reruns, primarily DVDs and I watched those over and over and over again. And then lately I decided that I'm going to try to watch another movie every night, but I don't really care for a lot of the newer movies. There's some I do and have watched and really enjoyed them. But I do have, for some reason, enjoyed watching the older movies. I mean, older movies, like in the 30s and 40s. Because I think back at my parents' ages, and those are the movies that they would have liked to watch, that they would have watched. They would have gone to the movies to watch and whatnot. So I've been trying to watch an old movie every night. And some of them I really enjoy. I especially like the kind of the drama suspense ones. And some of them I haven't liked too well. They've been a little bit too overdone or too dramatic, or acting was too predictable. I don't know, just various reasons why I didn't care for that particular movie over another one. But I've really enjoyed it, and not learning about, but becoming acquainted that way with some of the actors that are now gone that were around back in the day for ever and ever. So that's been enjoyable of the evenings. And sometimes when I'm watching TV, I will sit and fussy cut or run my brother's scan and cut. And I'm going to be starting a new journal after I finish this. And the one I picked out of the little basket is a library journal. So I've got a couple of paper packs in mind that I want to use. And I also am going to start looking for my digitals that I can use as well. Oh, this one just don't want to tear. Little stinker. So I need to do that. And I think the mini album, we'll be able to finish that up probably, hopefully over the next next 2 or 3 videos. I enjoy the decorating part, but I will be honest, it takes me a while to get going with that part and to really get into what I'm doing. It takes me a while. I need to think about it and kind of work through it, what I want. I'm so glad this glue dries clear. I'll be so happy if it actually holds this fabric down. I'm a little bit doubtful, but we'll see. How far are we along? 25 minutes. But we'll see. And I need a little piece to cover that up. What do I have? That's the same thing. I really do hope and pray that you are all well, that you're having a good day, that you're working on something you enjoy. After my husband passed away, I've told this before in another video, but if you didn't watch it, or when my husband passed away, I had started making junk journals about, he passed away in January, and I started in November, late November, right at Thanksgiving time. And I ended up making like 4 Christmas junk journals. I kept one and ended up giving 2 to one daughter and 1 to the other one. And I started working on junk journals in my room because that's where my crafting area is. Now, if you only could see how big this house is, you would really laugh and say, "What the heck? Are you nuts or something?" But anyway, this is where I craft, is in my room. And because I don't have a lot of space to work with, I was sitting in my recliner, and I had like something similar to a TV tray, but one of those white tables that you can fold out, and you can make it go different heights, and then it will, you can go different heights. So I was using that and sitting in my chair, and my daughter came over and she saw how I was working, and she also saw that I was really enjoying what I was doing. This was before before he passed away. And she ended up buying me this desk for Christmas that year, which I appreciated so much. I was just so tickled and so surprised. And it's pretty long. I mean, it's not real long. I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 feet long and at least a couple of feet wide. But she bought it for me, and this is what I began to use for my journaling. And of course, things kind of spread out from there. But I started junk journaling, and I don't know what really drew me to it, because I'd never been a paper crafter before, at least not on a regular basis. But my goodness, I found I just enjoyed it so much. It was just so much fun, and I enjoyed watching the creators and doing what they did, or trying to learn techniques and stuff, and I just really enjoyed it. So I started doing it, and after my husband passed away, it kind of became, I don't want to say a lifeline for me, I don't really mean that at all, but it became a little bit of an anchor for me, because it was something I really enjoyed. And I often wondered, should I continue doing this? I mean, for what reason? But I enjoyed it, and it made me feel good to make these things, and maybe they didn't go anywhere but as a gift to a family member or something, but it just made me so happy to make them. So I continued. It helped to ease my grief and allowed me time to think and to create and to just deal with things and to be happy. It brings you a source of happiness, and that's one thing about my starting this channel, was I really want to be a source of encouragement to others. We all go through difficult times in our lives, and some are really more horrendous than others. I'm fully aware of that. But having something in your life that you really enjoy doing, that is a way to express yourself, I think is really important. The big C kind of made us homebodies, especially with my husband, because he has so many serious health problems. We did not want him exposed to anything, so we had very strict guidelines that we followed during that period of time to protect him. And and my daughter was going to nursing school at the time, and she was doing that primarily online. If you can imagine, if you know of anybody that's been to nursing school, doing it during a period like that was very unique and very stressful. But she made it. Of course she made it. And I just was staying at home. You know, I wasn't going anywhere or doing anything. My daughter, when my husband started on dialysis at home, I wasn't able to learn it at that time, or to do it, because I really wasn't able to get up and down the stairs. I was having a lot of issues with the hip. But after it healed, she taught me how to do it, and we went from there. And I still, you know, that was really my life, was doing my husband's dialysis and meeting whatever needs I could meet for him. So because of that, I never was a party person. I really am. I'm an introvert. I've said that before, and I mean it. I like myself pretty much, and I like just staying at home and being in my own surroundings and doing what I like to do, you know. So I am thankful that I had started junk journaling, because I probably wouldn't have after he passed away. You know, I probably just wouldn't have. I just started doing it at the right time. So I'm thankful for that. And like I say, I would just really like to encourage anybody that might be going through a difficult time in their life, or it doesn't matter if it's junk journaling or some other form of creativity. Just do it. Just do it because you enjoy it. And I think that's a good thing. I'm going to use, this is a piece of a doily. I'm going to put that down here in the spot, but I'm going to use Fabri-Tac on it because it has a different feel to it, and I am gluing it to fabric, so I'm not so sure that the glue stick would hold this. It might, but I don't want to go back and have to re-glue everything if I don't have to. One thing I haven't done lately, I've missed several days, is I haven't worked in my little planner that I really enjoy doing as well. It's kind of a way for me to do daily journaling without actually having to write anything, but just to make something. And, you know, all I can do really is make a page because it's an altered planner, and I don't want to make it too thick. The first one I made so thick it was ridiculous. And so I'm trying this one to keep it streamlined, but I have not worked on it. And I miss working in it because I've been busy trying to get my videos out. And now that the baby's more than newborn, I've been watching her more than I was in the beginning. I think because my son-in-law finally, he's very, very protective of her, and I'm so thankful for that. But I think he knows now I'm not going to drop her or do anything. I don't know. But I love watching her, and I'll drop anything that I'm doing to spend time with that baby girl. It doesn't matter. Because she truly is the light of my life. And I don't care if that sounds sappy or whatever. She is, and that's just the way it is. And my little great-grandson, who's brand new, he's in the hospital. His mom is being discharged today. But he's in the NICU, in newborn intensive care, because they had to start him on antibiotics, and he wasn't nippling or latching on really well either. So I did get the news this afternoon that he's doing very well. His blood culture came back negative, which tells them that he does not have an active infection. And so they're just trying to get him to eat a little bit better. He's being a little bit punky about that, which, you know, some babies are. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong. It's just, and they don't want him to go home until they know that he's going to be taking enough calories to thrive. So that's hard because the mom's being discharged today, and I know from my experience of working in the NICU that it is very difficult for parents to go home and leave their babies behind them. It's a very, very hard thing to do, but it sometimes becomes necessary. Okay, I think I'm going to need to dig out some more scraps or something here. That's okay. That's okay. I really would like to finish this up in less than 45 minutes. I hope I can make it. Now, as you can see, I'm doing this very, very randomly. I do not necessarily, I mean, I don't particularly like to put two colors together that are two pieces together that are the same color, but there's really no rhyme or reason. I'm just picking up pieces as they're here on my desk and placing them down. Like I said, the only thing I don't like to do is put two pieces of fabric that are the same color or the same pattern together. But I do the same thing with paper as well. It's very random with me. I just pick things up and there's, again, no pre-planning. Let's see what else I've got. Let's see what else I've got. I could use another piece of muslin. Oh, I don't think I put any of this in there. Just checking to see. Oh, here's some more. What's that? I thought I had another piece of muslin here. I do. Okay, we might be able to finish this up. So we're almost done with this. My cat is sitting right here by one of my cats. I have two. His name is Stitch. He weighs well over 20 pounds. I'm assuming he weighs about 24 pounds or so, but he's huge. And he's going to be 11 this year. So he's not a kitten. And his brother, I've got his brother, they were litter mates. He is a bit smaller than Stitch. He's not as big as his brother, but he's pretty close. He is pretty close. So don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to experiment with glues. I know some creators are really devoted to one specific kind of glue over another one because it's tried and true. They've used it and they like it and it doesn't fail them. And you know what? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. But there are other things that you can use that might not be quite as expensive, might even work better. Now I'm not sure, absolutely sure that this is going to hold this glue stick is going to hold these pieces down. I'm thinking that it will, but I don't know that for sure. But I'm going to find out. I have used glue stick on other fabric things and it stayed down perfectly well. Of course, I've got glue all over my fingers, so it's wanting to come up. Alrighty then. Now this looks purple. It's really a piece of this white muslin here, but it will dry clear. Let's see if I have a master board that we made last time. Well, there we go. I should have had that pulled out before we started, but I'll get it out for the next time. So here we are. Nice collage of different, some different patterns and different colors. I think it looks kind of springy and summery. I hope you do too. Hope you like it. If you do, please leave me a like and consider subscribing and leave me a message. Until the next video, bye!